Okay guys, you might see that my surroundings are slightly different, and that's because I'm on holiday in Torremolinos. Had a jolly old time this afternoon before going into chart, which I'm going to go in a moment. And one of us has had a better time than the other.
What do you mean?
She's in that pit because she's had too much to drink again.
No, I'm doing my crossword.
Yeah, of course you are. Well, she's doing a crossword, but trust me, well, I've had a jolly time as well, actually. I'm recording this on my laptop, so it's not going to be crisp perfect or anything like that, but you'll be able to see what's going on the screen, and we'll jump over into it now. Now, I am doing this arse tit because shut up.
What did you say?
Well, I'm doing it arse tit because I bollocksed up the intro and it was all a bit jittery, so I'm now doing the intro and then adding it on to the end, and let's just get on the chart, shall we, guys? And we'll have a little look to see what's going on. Well, if you have it start here and you drill into a single asset, then you can control that asset very easily. So if I'm looking at these, there's a number that I like, and I like oil. Why? Because the one thing that jumps at me straight away is that massive surge to the upside. Well, that's showing a lot of pressure, which means it'll push down and then it can push back up again. We've also got in the top corner here the US 100, where again it's pushing down. It's late in the afternoon. It's currently sort of about 5:30 for me, but in the UK it's coming on 4:30. So these markets here will slow down, and I'm left with something that's evergreen, which is that. I could even look at the US JPY, but I like oil. Okay, so if I flick the trading screen on, which is here, we're gonna have a little look at it. So I've already done a quick analysis of it, and if I drop this in, there it is there. It's telling me there's no real main trade. That's probably because that big push has soaked up a lot of orders, but it's still buying, and it's telling me the red light, green light situation is gone on to buy, and also the +1, -1 is telling me it's a buy trade. So we're looking for about 9 pips very quickly. Okay, so if I'm looking for 9 pips really quickly, where can I find them? Well, first of all, I've got to understand why it's buying in the first place. Well, there we are. It's had a solid run down. It's found levels at this point. It's broke through key points and is pushing up. So it looks like it's actually pulling against this particular move here. Okay. Well, if that's the case, the key candle is that one. Okay. All right. So if we can see that key candle, why did it turn? Well, let's have a little look. Just grab an extension. Top to bottom and back again. That's why. Because it came down, found the 127, pushed straight through the 161, had a good go, stopped it here. So that expansion zone showed, and it's come back to where it came from, so it'll naturally start pulling back up. All right, it's just a bit of weight as to why it's buying. Then let's have a look here, see what the situation is. Okay, we've got this particular move here. It's pulling, holding well above the 50% of that move, which means following the rules, it'll go back to where it came from, and then drop it down into the hourly so we can see it. Let's get some key entry exits. Well, I can either use that move or this, or a combination of both. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a retracement in on this. So that came from there, got down as low as that green one, and then I can just drop in a few levels that can be attractive, just like so. I normally use blue, and I have dropped a clanger, but I've had a few brewskis this afternoon, so do forgive me. Nothing like sitting in the sun with a beer. Right, so we're at a key decision point now. That runs up to here. And then if it busts through, goes up to there. Okay. Right, so that's fully mapped out on the hour. Now we can also use this as well. Now that's an overextended candle. So what I can do is I can definitely drop on an extension onto these. It's come down, tag the 23 at this point, and again, just going to put a series of levels in to help me with this trade. Just like so. And rather than sort of buy or sell down into the 50%, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the levels to buy from, because my sentiment is buy. Right. Okay. There we go. So I'm happy with that. Right. I can buy any one of these levels. So I can start the buying process here and move the order down as the price moves in. So as it breaks underneath that, pull the order into it. Let it get underneath that, pull the order to it, and so forth, till it triggers in and gets me 9 pips. Now, next part of it is I need to measure that out. I need to figure out where a last point of entry is. So, well, there's 10 just off that line there. So, in this case, I'll drop it down to 15 so we can have a little look. Well, it's pulling down on itself quite nicely. Okay. So what we'll do, let me just refresh my screen a second. That's it. Come on. There we go. Because I've got a 2 screen set up here. Yes, we've got enough space. I'm not going to go merry mad with this. I'm going to hold it on for about 10 pips, 50 quid. Push. Drop that in. So that order's in. So what I expected is to pick up there and run into this. Get your 50 quid. Job's done. Right, it's gone into market. Okay. So we're running on to here. Where was the last swing? Well, the last swing was this point here before it blasted through. So I don't really want the price to go beyond there too much. So what I'll do is I'll DCA down to this level and then get back up to there if I have to. Okay. So you'll see a couple of orders come in. I don't need any of these now. Now it's triggered. So we'll get rid of all of them because we don't need them. Just tidy up my screen. Right, so it's in a bit quick. It's in a lot quicker than I anticipated, to be honest. But as long as I've got the direction in my favour, it will pay off. And it'll pay off big time. So all I need to do, give me a second. I'm actually doing, just finishing something off for myself. Which I've just completed on here. So I'm quite happy with this. So I've got that equity quite high, and there we go. So that's what I've been doing today for myself. Okay, so it's done quite well. So I'm quite happy with that. Put that to one side. That's today's lunch and everything paid for. And we're going to drop some extra orders in. I'm going to put the first 3 in. But I need to set it up first. Extension. Down from there to there. So we'll put the next one in. And then I'm going to talk you through a little bit about these things. If you bear with me. Now we'll get a lot of chitter chatter about how madness is difficult and one thing another. It's not. It's not at all. Right, therein. Okay. The difficult part of trading, just while this is playing out, it's not the setting up your trade, it's not the entry of your trade. The difficult part is you. It's your over expectation. So you think you've got little money and you're going to turn it into massive money. No, stupid. What you need to do is just grow it gradually every single day. That BlackBull account that I've just shown you, that started with 200 quid, and I've systematically been getting the money out. I only hold in the broker what I need to open up the positions, but I've had a colossal amount of money out of it, and I started small and built it up. That's the essence of trading. Now, when I go in with one position, sort of in this case, this starting position, if that's all I got into the market, but I got a return from it, outstanding. If I can get 2 and 3 in, even better. But I'm not worried. What happens is, guys come in and they want all of the positions in to go up to there because they're chasing the money, they're greedy. That greed is what's killing you, because all these extra positions are for is to complement the correct trade idea in the first place. A lot of people don't have the correct idea, and therefore it'll fail. You know, if you've got it wrong and it's going against you, well, you're just throwing good money after bad. You've got to have done your analysis and understand what you're trying to achieve. In this case, I'm trying to get the price wherever I get in down here to this line. That's it. Now, the more I can get to it, the better. So if it just runs from here up to there, fine. But I've also got to have a contingency if it goes against me. Now, for me, my box of pain, now this is where I would consider myself wrong, is around this area here. Okay, I'll just put it into black. So you'll often see a box of pain like this. Now that box of pain represents where I think it's uncomfortable and I've probably got it wrong. So what I'll do is I'll stage down into it. Each one of these positions reduces exposure to the marketplace, rather than the other way of what people tell you to do, which is just, well, you have a tight stop, you get stopped out, you then go back to market with a tight stop, you get stopped out, you go back to market with a tight stop, you get stopped out. Well, if you're going to do it 3 times, why not put 3 orders in and see if you can survive? And if you get paid off the first one, outstanding. Put this to bed, don't look at it again. But they don't. What they do is they get a little bit of money out of it, and then they go at it again. And then they go at it again. And then they go at it again. And it's always on a 5-minute chart. They haven't looked at any of the other sort of charts that are available, or time frames rather. So they don't know what the direction is. They don't know what the market is trying to achieve. And they certainly don't know themselves. And that's where my famous quote comes from. It's not my quote. It's a very famous quote that I just happen to like. Know thyself, it is the beginning of wisdom. Because if you're doing what I've just said, getting cut out, getting cut out, getting cut out, but constantly going to market, you've got a gambling trade. And there's only you can recognize it. So therefore, you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself what you're going to do about it. And there's a simple answer. Score, score, stop. Win twice, walk away. That'll save you so many sleepless nights. So many sleepless nights. But who can do it? So let's play this out. See if it hits our 10 pips. If we can get a couple of extra orders in, outstanding, I'm happy. And if we don't, well, then we don't. We just get our 50 quid. But 50 quid for half an hour's work isn't bad. Actually, talking things like that, do you want to earn 50 quid for half an hour's work?
Depends what I'm going to do.
Well, you'll probably be reading a book for 29 minutes of it. That'll... Guess what, boys and girls? She's off to make some money. And she's already in the place. Shouldn't do that, really. You might think she's a bit of a sex kitten. Well, she is. Let's go find out. Okay, guys, so that is complete. Just make certain that I get my tickets off. Nothing running. Get that off, get that off. It's gone up, stopped dead on the level that we put in. And there you go, 54 quid. And the time now is 10 to 5, so that's what, 20 minutes maybe. Just having a quick look at the charts. Even had time to have a bit canoodle with Winky. She wasn't giving it up, by the way, boys and girls. She said I could just have a kiss. That's nothing. Why? Oh. We're on holiday.
You're working, Cracker?
I don't want to work, I'm on holiday. So, moral of the story. Moral of the story is you do your homework on everything. And it doesn't matter whether it's a small scalping trade like this or it's a whopping big trade like what I showed you on BlackBull. Both of them were marked exactly the same. Both of them were looked at exactly the same. And then I go down through the hierarchy of, is it a golden eye trade? No. Is it a +1 -1 trade? No. Is it a red light, green light trade? No, sort of thing. Or is it yes? Right. The strongest one is golden eye. So if it's that, I'm going to have a bigger target. Then it's +1 -1. What's that all about? Well, it's a good trade and it's following the direction of the movement, but I'm not going to be swinging at the fences with it. So I'll just have a sort of 10 pip target, or roughly what the minimum criteria is. Here it was 9, I got a little bit more than that. And then finally, if I just want to scalp it, red light, green light. Dead simple. And it's all about processes all the way through. Then my box of pain, I work that out the same way. It's a swing and a level and the price underneath it, and then I'll DCA into it. Now, anybody who's ever followed me for a long period of time will see that I'm consistent, but I do the exact same thing over and over again. I don't be greedy. I don't go at the charts all the time. I just do the job, period. And everybody that complains are gamblers, period. And I will say that, and I know a lot of people get upset about it, and I do, and I've had all the comments, you call us freeloaders and you call us gamblers. Well, that's because that's what you are. If you're going at the chart constantly without any education and you're trying to just scour around looking for the system from a 15-minute video, you're never going to make it, period. But if you put your homework in, you put time and dedicate to the craft, you will make it. And not only will you make it, you'll earn a decent living. And I'm not talking about private jets as you see these muppets on Instagram and everything. I mean a living, a decent living. You know, you can earn 30, 40,000 pounds a year very easily with trading, very easily, if you apply common sense. And that's all it is, just common sense. So there we are. I'm on holiday. I did it just because I was watching the chatter in the group, and I always like to back up what I say and put my money where my mouth is. Simple as that. So I'm going to enjoy my holiday. I'll be back next week. There is preloaded videos already done for you from the Ask Scruff series. They're actually about 2 months ahead of themselves. It's well into April or at the end of April. There's a one out nearly every day. If you're part of the squad, you get to see them straight away. Most of them are just for the squad, but generic ones and sort of basic questions do go public, and I try and get them out certainly relatively quickly. But at the minute, like I say, we weeks ahead of ourselves because I only release one a day. Okay, catch you all soon.